Wagon your little nannies. I checked this. One of the man them just informed me that apparently the government have found a vaccination and that they're gonna try pump liquid in my skin by force. So I had to call my brother Bill Gates. You know, the don that created technology, the don that got the company Microsoft there. So I call him and I'm like, yo Billy, wagon fam, what's going on with this whole COVID thing? He goes, look, don't worry, if the feds pull up on the block, tell them you don't consent to injections. I said, calm. Next morning, feds pull up on my door knocking like, I open the door, I go, I don't consent in needles. The fed goes, why are you spitting? Is this how you greet your guests? I told him, nah, look, there was some phlegm in my system. I just wanted to exhale it. But anyways, look, before I go nuts, let's get straight into this. A little equation of a straight line and them thing there, a little light work thing. I understand this video might be like, I don't know, like 5 to 10 minutes, you get me? Cause I wanna, I wanna put the pressure in your skull, fam, you get me? I wanna put all the knowledge, all the information, you get me, fam, all of that into your skull. But look, before I get started, you lot know the pattern. Let me drink a little something, give me a sec. Get me, fam, a little hydration. Give me a sec. Okay, little sounds to get me started. So, obviously, if you look to the top right here, these are the learning objectives. You get me, from LOL, from laugh out loud and everything there. So, obviously, the first one's telling me understanding the equation. Calm, we're going to do that. Next one's telling me finding the equation of a line using a point and a gradient. Calm. Next one's telling me finding the gradient using 2 points. Next one's telling me finding the equation of the line using 2 points. So, what basically, man's going to try... If you don't know, obviously don't know a gun, man's gonna try and make it easy, you get me? So let's get straight into this. Now, firstly, before we get started, let's understand this equation. Let's see what's going on, you get me, fam? Let's see what Einstein and, Stephen Hawking and them man did in it, you get me? So basically, firstly, this M here, what does it represent? M represents the gradient, you get me? Now, what is the gradient, you might be asking yourself? Now, let's just say, obviously, when you're walking around in your day-to-day life here, obviously this is the floor in it, yeah? You see the gradient on the floor. One second, let me draw a bit more straight. Let's just say it. You see the gradient on the floor. That's 0, you understand? But let's say now you're walking up a hill, and you see when you're walking up a hill, your legs are hurting, fam. You get me? Your hamstrings and that are being pulled, fam. You get me, fam? So basically, let's say if you're walking up this hill here, the gradient here is going to be like, I don't know, like, let's just say 2, for instance. But let's say if you're walking up a mountain, fam, you get me? Mountain, plantain, fam, plantain, you get me, fam? Look, if you're walking up a mountain, let's say, yeah, it's going to be going all like this, fam, you get me? The gradient here is going to be hefty, fam, you get me? The gradient's probably going to be 5, you understand? Now, let's just say if you're going downhill, the gradient is probably going to be like -1. So basically, the whole point is the higher you go, the higher the gradient is. So basically, gradient is like steepness. You get me? The more steep it is, the higher the gradient is. You get me? But obviously, you can go negative as well. You can go down. You get me? Because that's why there's negative equations and that. You get me? So the gradient here would be like -5. You understand? Calm. Now let me rub this out. Give me a sec, let me rub this out. So that was a little basic, classical, introduction to the whole gradient thing. Now, let me rub this out. Calm. Now, let's look at plus C, for instance, yeah? So, obviously, this is plus C. Now, what's plus C? Plus C, wait, let me do that in red. So, look, plus C, yeah, is like where the line, obviously, we're going to have been given a line or we're going to choose a line. Where the line hits the y-axis. You understand? Now, let me explain what this means. Let me draw a random line now. Let's just say, obviously, we got like you know about the y and the x-axis. Come on, fam. If you haven't seen this by now, I'm after come there, give you the one happy slappy car. Obviously, you're probably not attending lesson in that, fam. You get me, fam? You need to update your knowledge, fam. You get me, the knowledge. So let's say this is y here and this is x here. Calm. Now, let's just say there's a random line like this. Yeah, this is a random line. I don't care about the line. You get me? This is a random line. Now, obviously, plus C is telling me where the line hits the y-axis. So this blue line, let's follow it and see where it hits the y-axis. Remember, yeah, that this is the y-axis, this long line here, yeah? So, where does the line hit the y-axis? Going up, going up, going up, not here, not here. Okay, right here. You get me? So this is our plus C because the line touches the y-axis, which is this line here, at that point. So that blue point there is our y-axis. Is the point plus C where it hits the y-axis. You understand? I hope you're understanding it. So let's go into some questions now and let's just see what I'm saying in it, cause I don't want you lot to bug out on that. One sec, let me rub this out. Give me a sec. Don't go anywhere. Give me 2 minutes, fam. Relax, bro. We're just getting started, bro. You understand? Oh, where's this going, blood? I just wanna be... Oh, come off it, man. It takes 7 minutes just to rub this shit out, bro. Alright, cool. Calm, blessed thing, fam. You understand? Don't worry. So remember, yeah, this is the form, y is equal to mx plus c, yeah? Now, let's just say, for instance, the question was telling me, you know, they're saying, find the, you know, the gradient and y-intercept. Yeah, find the gradient and the y-intercept. And then the question was telling me something like y is equal to 4x minus 1. And the next one was telling me something like y is equal to 6 minus x, yeah? Calm. Now, obviously, look, firstly, I'm going to rewrite y is equal to mx plus c, yeah? Now, looking at y is equal to mx plus c, it's in the form mx plus c. This is also in the form mx plus c. So this is a light work thing, you get me? So all I can say here is m is equal to 4 and c is equal to minus 1. You understand? So basically the gradient is 4, so the gradient is probably going to be something like this. You get me? The steepness, because obviously if this is the ground, it's going to be 0. The gradient is going to be 4. You get me? Calm. Now, c is equal to minus 1. Remember, that represents where it crosses the y-axis. So if we've got the y-axis like this, and this is the x-axis, this minus 1 is going to be here. You get me? So that's why it's going to cross. Calm. Now, let's look at this one. You see, this one is not in the form mx plus c. This is plus 6 minus x. You get me? There's an invisible plus there, fam. You get me? They don't normally write it, but man's going to write that for you. You understand? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to rewrite this as y is equal to minus x plus 6. You get me? I just put the x first. You get me? This means the same thing, though. Man just switch positions. Now, also remember, yeah, that there's an invisible 1 there. It's a minus 1x plus 6. You understand? There's obviously, they're not going to write minus 1x. That looks weird, fam, you get me? But always remember there's an invisible minus 1 there, yeah? Calm. Now, this is in the form mx plus c. You get me? This is in the same form. So what I could say now is that m is equal to minus 1 and c is equal to positive 6. Calm. Light work. So obviously, step number 1's done. We understand what I'm going with the equation in it. So let me rub all this out. Give me a sec. I know this is a long video, innit, but allow me, fam. You get me? Man's just trying to give back to my people, fam. You get me? Help understand the knowledge, fam. You get me? This ain't a lightweight. This ain't a joke thing. Give me a sec. Let me write all of this out. All right, cool. Next step in that, yeah. That was a little lightweight thing. Now, let's say, for example, they go, okay, find the equation of a line now. Okay, they go find the equation of a line. And the equation of the line, they say, okay, given, these are the things they give us here. They're like, the gradient is equal to 2 at point, let's make some random point, I don't know, let's call it like 4, 1, yeah? Calm! Now, these are the steps, these are the things you need to remember when you're coming with questions like this, yeah? Now, there's a very, very famous thing. I want you lot to remember this. Write it down, fam. Don't forget, yeah? It's called y minus y1 is equal to m multiplied by x minus x1. You get me, fam? If you can remember this, life becomes really, really easy. I understand. Now, it's really important to understand that, look, they've given us the gradient. The gradient is 2. And they've also given us the point. You get me? The point is 4, 1. You get me? Now, what is y1 and what is x1? So this is what's important. This is x1 and this is y1. You get me? These correspond to each other. You get me? So all we need to do is substitute these values, yeah, into this equation here, and we're calm. You get me? So let me show you what I mean. So for example, y, I'm just going to rewrite. And then y1, which I've told you, is this one up here. So it's 1. 1 second. So I'm going to put minus 1 is equal to m. We know m is 2. Big brackets, x minus x1. Now, x1's here, and x1 for this is 4. You get me? So it's going to be 4. And that's it. Calm. Now what? You can leave it like this, but more time, it's better if you leave it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. You get me, fam? At least it's good for practice, fam. You get me? So you're going to have y minus 1 is equal to, you're going to do this 2 multiplied by this x. It's going to be 2x. You're going to do this 2 multiplied by this minus 4. It's going to be 2 times 4 is 8, but because of the minus, you're going to get minus 8. You get me? But remember, we want it in the form y is equal to mx plus c, so we need to make the y on the left-hand side by itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this minus 1, I'm going to move it to the right-hand side. But remember, whenever you take the minus to another side, it changes sign and it becomes positive, fam. You get me? So what's going to happen now is you're going to get y is equal to 2x minus 8. But remember, that minus 1 is going to become positive 1 now because you change the sides. You understand? So now you're going to just simplify this. Y is equal to 2x minus 8 plus 1 is telling me minus 7. Calm, a little light work thing. Look, if you want, we'll try another one. Cause obviously, I don't want to leave you lot like, you know what I mean? I want to like help you lot, you know, exceed in that in the knowledge. 1 sec. Let me just wrap all this out. Let's say, for instance, yeah. 1 second. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's say the points change and the gradient changes. Yeah, let's change it up. So let's say, for instance, I don't know. Let's do the gradient as 5. And the point as, what should we use? Should we do 2 and minus 4, yeah? So remember, straight away, it's asking for equation of the line. So you're going to say to yourself, okay, y minus y1 is equal to m, and then x minus x1, yeah? And then what you're going to say, you're going to list these down, yeah? You're going to say, okay, man's got the point, man's got the m, which is the gradient, which here is 5. So let me put 5. Man's got the point as well. The point is 2 and minus 4. So remember, these represent x1 and y1. Don't forget that, yeah? So man's got this. So all I have to do is substitute into this equation. Little light work thing, you understand? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do that quick thing. So I've got y minus y1. So y1's going to be this. So I've got y minus 4, which is weird, equals to the gradient, which I've got as 5. And then x minus x1, which is 2. Calm. So now y minus 4. Remember, yeah, when you got two negatives, it becomes a positive. You get me? So when you got two pagans, fam, stuck together, they're gonna end up being friends, and it's gonna become positive, fam. You get me? You get me, fam? Frenemies. So you're gonna have y plus 4 is equal to. Then you got 5 multiplied by x. It's gonna be 5x. You got 5 multiplied by minus 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. But because of the negative, it's going to be minus 10. And then remember, I want it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So I'm going to make y on the left-hand side by itself. So this plus positive 4, man's going to move to the right-hand side. It's going to become minus 4. You get me, fam? So man's going to have y is equal to 5x minus 10. So minus 4 because we changed sides. And then man's going to do simplification. Minus 10 minus 4 is minus 14. Calm! I can't lie, the video's going a bit longer than man expected. But you know what? It's calm, innit? Car got love for you. Like, I'm willing to, you know, sit down here and give you, man, the education, fam. You get me? So let me rub all of this out now. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Oh, I get tired just doing this, blood. It's the rubbing out that tires me, you know. It's not even the talking and the writing. I can't lie to you. Say that and calm. Now, what have we done? We found the equation. What have we just completed? We've said finding the equation of a line using a point and the gradient. Okay, now we're going to do finding the gradient using 2 points. Calm. Now, let's just say if they say find the gradient, yeah, given, find the gradient given the points, you know, 3, 2, and 6, 6, yeah. Now, what you need to understand is, what is the gradient again? The gradient was the steepness thing, In other words, what people say is the change in y over the change in x. You get me, fam? So what that means is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Just try to remember this, fam. You get me? So basically, what that means is, yeah, you see these points 3, 2, 6, 6. So this is 3, 2, yeah, and this is 6, 6, yeah. Basically, this is x1 and this is y1. This is x2 and this is y2. You get me? So basically the gradient's telling me y2, which is this thing here, which represents this 6 here, yeah, minus y1, which represents this thing here, which is 2, all divided by x2. I know they look a bit similar, I can't lie. Let me show you. X2, which is this thing here. Let me put it in red, actually. Man's not liking the same color star. X2, which is 6 here, minus x1, which is 3. You get me, fam? So the gradient... Oh! Nah, don't violate. Blood. Don't you fucking dare turn off, you know. This is a long lesson, fam. I'll actually go insane, bro. Mums are going nuts. Oh, yes. Okay, calm. So, yeah, so that's 6 minus 2 is telling me 4. 6 minus 3 is telling me 3. Calm. So that's how you would find the gradient using the points. You understand? Calm. Now that we've done that, let me rub this out. So that was a little light work thing as well, just finding the gradient using the 2 points. Hey, come off it, man. Move out the way, bruv. This thing is nuts, bro. You understand? Okay, saying that. So now we've completed. What have we completed? We have completed, okay, yeah, we completed finding the gradient used to, okay, last one now, calm. Now, let's just say, for instance, yeah, they're like, okay, find the equation of the line. So now they're saying find the equation of the line using the point, let's just say 0, 1, and 4, I don't know, 13, yeah. Calm. So basically, yeah, what you need to understand, yeah, is that we just found the gradient. So remember, there's two things you need when you want to find the equation of a line, yeah? When you want to put it in the form y is equal to mx plus c, there's a couple things we need. Number one, we need the gradient m, yeah? Number two, we need a point. You get me, fam? We need the point x1 and y1, yeah? And we'll easily find that. So first steps first, yeah? Tell me a point I can use. You can use any of these, x1, y1. Let's say we use this one, yeah? So the point we're going to be using is going to be 0 and 1. This is our x1, y1 thing, yeah? Now, the gradient, we just learned how to find gradient using two different points. So the gradient, which is m, yeah? I said, what was it? It was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, yeah? So that's y2, which is this one here, 13, minus y1, which is 1 here, all divided by x2, which is this 4 here, minus x1, which is this 0 here. You understand what I'm doing, yeah? So you got 13 minus 1, which is 12, all over 4, and that's going to be 3. You understand? So we found m. M's telling me 3. You understand? Now, man's going to rub this out because it's taking too much space. I hope you lot understand like what's going on here, innit, fam? You get me? I don't want you lot to bug out on that. Give me a sec. So we easily just found that, innit? Obviously, we went through that. So remember, yeah, obviously I don't mind repeating it. So the gradient, remember, the gradient is basically y2, which is 13, minus y1, which is 1, divided by x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is 0. You understand? And that's how we got the gradient 3. Calm. Now, all I have to do, if you don't remember this equation, y minus y1 is equal to m, and then x minus x1, yeah? So all I have to do is y minus y1, and remember what y1 is. So this point here is in the form x1, y1, yeah? So y1 is going to be 1 here because it represents y1 here. So man's going to put 1 here is equal to m, which is the gradient we just found to be 3. Open bracket x minus x1. So this is x1, which is 0 in this case. So basically I've got y minus 1 is equal to 3 times x, which is 3x. And then 3 times 0 is just going to be 0, so we leave it like that. But remember, we want it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So man's going to move that minus 1 from that side. I'm going to take it to the right hand side. It changes sign, becomes positive 1. Calm, look. I hope, yeah, this video maybe just helped you a bit. But obviously, look, we did cover some core concepts and that. But listen, anyways, look, more videos coming soon. Man's going to be going through some difficult questions soon. But anyways, big love. Love.